Whatever you want to do.
This will make the blooper reel.
This is your gig right here, not mine.
Hey folks, this is Josh, Stony Ridge Farmer. Welcome to the farm vlog today. We are with Lane Simpson here on his farm. We are in what area of North Carolina?
We're in Organ Hill, North Carolina.
Organ Hill, North Carolina, and Lane is taking back old tobacco farms and using a no-till drill method of farming that we don't see a lot around here. So we'll let Lane tell you a little bit about what he's doing, and we'll walk around and we'll show you some of the plants that he's planting to bring back the land, to bring back the soil here in these old tobacco farms in the most eroded section of the country.
Yeah.
All right? So Lane, tell me what we got going on here.
What I normally do is our old farms that people conventional till, we will go in and try to keep something on the land all the time.
Okay.
That kind of keeps everything from eroding and going back into the ponds, back into the creeks. We try to have something going all the time as far as the land, because you got bees, all kind of beneficial insects that comes from all different kind of cover crops.
Yeah.
And also, you know, just cash crops that we plant each and every year.
Right. Now I see out here we're looking at a field that you're taking back right now that you planted this fall, and you planted what, soybeans?
Winter peas, crimson clover, and rye.
Okay, winter peas, crimson clover, and rye. And you planted that what, last September, October?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now
right after, now tobacco was actually 2 years ago on this farm.
Okay.
But we just got it this year, so this is what we're starting off. This is how we start off on everything.
Gotcha. So this is his first step in repairing the land, and we're going to take a quick look, or a detailed look, at the soil and how he's bringing the land back here in just a minute. We're going to take a look at the plants that he's using, and we're here basically to gather information for our farm, because we've got some new open land and we want to do the right thing to build biomass in the soil, to get the worms, to get the nitrogen, to do what's right instead of throwing and dumping that fake fertilizer.
That's right.
You know, it's petroleum-based fertilizers, and we don't want to do that. We want to do it right. We want to provide nitrogen. We want to provide substance for the soil.
That's right.
And Lane here, I was introduced to him probably 2.5, 3 years ago, and he was growing sun hemp. Now, sun hemp isn't a hemp like...
You don't smoke it.
No, you don't smoke it, you don't get hemp oil or anything
Nope.
like that, but it provides a huge amount of biomass per acre. Is that right? How much biomass is that?
It's like 5 or 6 tons per acre.
Well, what we're looking at here, how much is the tonnage per acre probably?
This right here is probably at least 3 to 4 tons per acre.
Gotcha, gotcha. But will this fix nitrogen just as much as the sun hemp? Does sun hemp actually fix nitrogen? Or?
It does.
Okay.
Sun hemp does pretty good. Any legume does really good.
Gotcha.
The winter peas and the clover. Hairy vetch is another really good one that is way up there as far as nitrogen fixation on all the land and stuff.
Gotcha. Now, did you fertilize this before you planted it or anything? You just put it in the ground? It was just bare ground, so you...
No fertilizer whatsoever has been put on this farm.
So the first thing you did was go over it. Did you turn it and disc it first?
Nope.
Okay, so you just ran over it with the no-till drill with these 3 seeds.
There was a couple little places that were left over from the tobacco farm that needed to be leveled up, so to speak.
Gotcha.
We did take a little leveling hair over it, and just to kind of shape it up so it ain't so rough on the planter and me.
So with a guy that's just now starting a new plot of land, and he's just getting his start, so he's bought an old farm, and it's old and dilapidated, kind of like what we bought, and it's grown up in trees and brush. You can go right straight in, say you clear off the trees and brush, you go right in and you drill down this 3 seed combination, and that will build your soil enough that the next year you can start planting grass, I guess fescue grass if you want to grow hay. Or
well, it really depends on the type of soil you got. You know, the purpose, you really need to think about what you're going to do with it.
Right.
Is it going to be pasture land? Is it going to be, are you going to grow row crops on it, you know, corn, soybeans like we are? Right. Are you going to do vegetables?
Right.
You know, each crop will depend on what I normally, my blend that I normally put in is going to depend on my cash crop.
So the blend that you have here is for what crop?
I do corn and soybeans on this farm.
Corn and soybeans also.
Because the corn is going to use up a lot of nitrogen. Gotcha. So you want to plant nitrogen fixation plants on it, of course, because it'll be there when the corn comes up, nitrogen already be there.
Gotcha. So corn is a heavy feeder, I guess they call it a heavy feeder.
Of nitrogen.
As well as tomatoes, stuff like that.
Yep.
So they're heavy feeders of nitrogen. They require a lot of nitrogen. Most farmers, like out in Iowa and all these different places, they just hit it with straight ammonium nitrate almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they just pile nitrogen on. So the corn goes boom and grows really tall.
It does.
Pops out that ear of corn and you get tons of bushels per acre. It's the easy way. It's the easy way out.
Oh, yeah.
It's the cheating way, and it's destroying our streams and destroying our land and causing erosion, and this is the solution. So do you want to take them and show them a little bit more?
Sure, that'd be fine. Y'all come on over here and follow me and I'll show you what's going on. Right here was what we got. We've got rye, which is about 5 feet tall because I'm about, I don't know, 5'4". And then what I try to do is I try to level my, level all of my canopies and stuff on my cover crops. So what I try to do is I try to do something tall, like a rye, and then these winter peas right here, as you can see, they will actually run up a stalk if you've got something to run up on. And then right down below in the canopy, I've got crimson clover, which are both nitrogen fixers. And that will be available for the next crop whenever we decide to plant this. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to talk about nodulation on all the legumes that I plant. A lot of times what we'll do is when they start blooming, as you can see, these are in full bloom right now. There's actually peas and pods on them. That tells me that it's time to terminate the crop. And the way we do that here is we do a roller crimper method, which is basically a great big drum that rolls over and crimps every 5 inches of the stem, which will actually kill that plant. I want to talk about a little bit about nodulation on all these legumes. All right, so what we did, all we did was we dug up some roots, and you can see all those little nodules. And each one of those is atmospheric nitrogen that come out of there. The plant took it up and stored it in the root system.
And that's what those little green dots, can you touch them? Those little green dots right there? Okay.
Oh yeah.
So that's nitrogen fixation.
That's exactly right. And what it's doing, after we roll this crop, this nitrogen will be right here on top of the surface, getting ready to be absorbed by the new crop that we're going to put in. So your corn or your soybeans will be ready to just suck it up and take off. We're going to just basically simulate just taking a roller crimper and doing it, and basically all we're going to do is we want to step over the crop, push it over, and then step on the stems. So you want it to all go one way, just like this right here. And then, that's probably good right there.
Yeah.
And then what you've got a really nice mat that you can plant into. And what we'll do is we'll take our drill and we'll come right in here. And there's a coulter on the front that cuts me a slit in right here, opens the land up, and then I've got a double disc opener in the back that will spread it apart, drop the seed down. I've got another press wheel that comes right back in and presses it right down. It keeps the weeds from germinating after you get it planted. You've got this mat on here. It also helps with moisture retention, because when the sun hits the soil, it evaporates. All your water is just evaporating. And then also your nutrients can leach out through the soil too. Once the sun hits it, it leaches out. As this mat breaks down into micronutrients, that is also a feeding ground for your earthworms, your different funguses, your good fungus that grows in the soil, and all kinds of microorganisms will actually feed off, and they will eat all of this biomass that you're producing.
It's a new style of farming that we're all leaning toward, so we don't have to use antibiotics, so that we're not relying on petroleum-based fertilizers, so that our meats are better, they're better for us, and they don't continue this epidemic of obesity and diabetes that we have in our country. So now we're going to go look at some that's already been crimped and laid over, what, a couple weeks ago?
Yep, and planted, so you'll get to see the actual bean coming up through the row.
All right, Lane, so we're in a field that you've already rolled and crimped, right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, we're going to look down in here and we're going to see, what are we going to see?
We're going to see what's left over of our radishes. We're going to talk a little bit about those and what they're going to do for our soybean crop coming in. And also we're going to look at this nice pretty mat that this cover crop is going to give us to help hold some moisture in.
And this field is how many years in the works?
This is a 4th year field.
Nice. Let's get down close to the ground. Check it out.
Basically, we just pulled back this really nice thick mat that really covers the ground really good. And as you can see, is right here is a tuber that's left over from our radish. And most of the time, these radishes are anywhere from a foot to 2 feet deep. And they're normally about 2 to 3 inches in diameter. It holds a lot of nutrients in that tuber that it has, and that's the reason that I plant it. And it also breaks up the soil, because that thing is going down in the ground and driving this soil apart, enabling the water to go down into the ground as it decays and breaks down. If you look real close right here, we was talking about no-tilling beans and stuff inside of here. Basically what it does, it'll come through here and cut a trench, a real small slit. The one double disc opener will open up the ground, places a seed in, and you can see real close right here, you see we got a seed here coming up, seed here, so forth and so on. And then right beside of this seed right here is going to be our tuber. As this breaks down, it really does stink though. That's the only bad thing that I don't like about radishes, is they smell terrible.
So you're saying these are called daikon radishes, right?
Or tillage radishes,
Tillage
okay.
radish?
Yeah.
Okay. And they will burrow down up to a foot, foot and a half?
Yep.
Okay, and they provide a nutrient for the soil. They rot. They also aerate the soil and provide nutrients for worms and microbes too?
That's right. Just let all those nutrients go right back into that top layer of soil where all these seeds are coming up to.
Cool. So the no-till drill doesn't till, but the radish tills for you and gets the nutrients down deeper into the soil.
Oh yeah. I like to find, oh yeah, right here. The other beneficial thing that I like about no-tilling and cover crops and always having, you know, something on the land for, you know, the worms and the fungi and all kinds of microorganisms to eat, is this right here. When we go to a field, and you can take a shovel and find earthworms, you know, by the handfuls, and you can look at the profile of the soil. You got your red clay right here, and you've got, this is the top layer which we've been working on, and this is what we're striving for, to get this brown loamy dirt to keep building organic matter, because it's just going to get deeper and deeper, and it's real easy to plant into. Once you get it to this stage, you can go through here with just a set of double disc openers. You don't even have to have a set of coulters on the front of a planter. You can see all these little passages and stuff where the worms have been before, and all that is the passage for the rain to filter down into the land. It won't get to this clay right here and just run off. You want all of the rain that falls to actually go into the ground.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little insight into soil, into no-till drilling, into building your soil for your farm. Lane, I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us.
Had a ball.
Awesome. We'll be back here. You guys are going to make molasses, is that right?
We are in the fall.
So we'll be back here in the fall to make molasses. You got a sawmill operation. We'll be back to show you that. All kinds of fun stuff. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stony Ridge Farm Vlog. I appreciate you. Pound that like button, subscribe to the channel. You ready for the woo?
Woo!
All right.
Well, come on down to the Stony Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stony Ridge. Woo!
Just basically see how it makes everybody look short when I start
I see
talking.
that.
So I can squat down a little bit, and I probably will do that.
It don't make no difference. Heck, you taller.
It's all good, brother. I'm just
Yeah,
a
you'll be out of the
freaking gorilla, man. So for non-gorilla purposes, what I'll do is I'll split my legs out. I'll splay out a bit, and then we'll be normal people height.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
This will make the blooper reel.
This is your gig right here, not mine. I'm just super short. It also will release crap.
You can do it again. It's all good.
Micronutrients. Anyway, I gotta find my spot again.
All right, Lane. So we're in a field that you've.
As all of these different plants break down, they off gas all natural, I guess, fumes that are good for. We're gonna do that over again. Woo! Here we go. Ready?
Woo!
Woo!